What is up, chat? Welcome back to the channel. Got a new Cardfight Vanguard video for you guys today, and I am pretty excited for this one. So today we are looking into Sephirogila. So Sephirogila was featured in the newest episode of Cardfight Vanguard, and now we have the official effects and we have it in Cardfight area. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the deck build that I created. I made this on stream last night. We had a lot of fun with it. And then we're going to go in and we're going to show you guys how the deck plays. For initial impressions, I'll tell you guys right now, the deck is actually way better than I thought it was going to be. But if you guys enjoy this kind of content, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's jump in and get started. So we only have 2 new cards, but they changed the entire playstyle of the deck. So we got our new starter, Sephirogila. This unit gets grade +1 and plus 2,000 power for each different blessing card in your soul and drop in total that were in your ride deck. That part is specific, but we'll talk about that in a second. At the beginning of your main phase, choose one of your blessing cards from your ride deck, put it into the soul. Perform one of the following according to the to your Vanguard's grade. Grade 1, choose up to 1 energy generator from your ride deck, put it into the crest zone. If you do and you went second, energy charge 3. Grade 3, search your deck or hand for up to 1 Dragon Tree of Advent, Sephirogila, ride at a stand, and if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. If you rode, choose one of your rear guards without a Dragon Tree marker and put a Dragon Tree marker on it. All right, so a couple things here. First off, that first skill is both really good and really bad. So grade +1, power plus 2,000 for each different blessing that was in your ride deck. So I had mentioned this on my episode review where if, depending on the wording, I was saying that maybe you could actually speed the deck up. Because they specified in your ride deck, you can't. Basically, the only ones that affect your grade and power are the 3 that you have in your ride deck. So even if you played extra blessings, because you can, they are order cards that you can play in your deck, it doesn't let you speed up the deck at all. Now, first half of the second skill, the grade one, being able to get your energy generator, that was a big problem that Griphogila had. Because you don't ride until turn 3, you didn't get an energy generator until turn 3. This one, on the other hand, you get an energy generator right away, and then of course if you went second, you get a charge 3. Much better. And then the grade 3 skill to get Sephirogila is just what we same thing we had with Griphogila. The big difference is that Griphogila lets you play 2 markers, while this one only lets you get 1, and this one only lets you put on a circle that doesn't have a marker, whereas Griphogila could stack the markers if you already had markers on the board. While that makes it sound like this is a little bit of a nerf, the problem with Griphogila was you didn't really have any ways to get markers in the early game. So you wouldn't get any till turn 3 unless you use Corrosive Smoke Signal to guard. That's the only way you could get a marker in the early game. So you'd have to use a Corrosive Smoke Signal, and then when you rode into Griphogila, you'd have to stack the markers on top of circles you already had markers on. It was a hassle. This is by far the better card. The other new card we have is, of course, Dragon Tree of Advent, Sephirogila. So this guy, continuous Vanguard and deck, this card is also regarded as Griphogila. And if it is on Vanguard, you can only ride cards with Sephirogila in their card name. So I had mentioned this again during my episode review, that I needed to know if this card was going to be regarded as Griphogila, because there are some Griphogila specific support that this card shouldn't be able to use, and it's not just Sephirogila. Unless it's treated as Griphogila, it's also treated as Griphogila in the deck, which actually makes it even better, because cards that can affect Griphogila in the deck, that search Griphogila, things like that, would still work with this card. It's the second half of that skill that you can only ride Sephirogila cards. A lot of people were talking about riding into Griphogila Vortex because Vortex requires you to have the calamities, in the ride deck. You remove them and then you can force activate Nova Trigger. Because this doesn't have calamities in the ride deck, theoretically you'd be able to go into the grade 11 Griphogila Vortex and be able to use your Over Trigger immediately, which sounds really powerful. It also turns it into a 5 attack deck. It would have been ridiculous, but they balanced it out. Though, having played the deck, you know what? I'm okay with it because the deck performs extremely well. Now, His other 2 skills: act Vanguard once per turn. Energy Blast 3. Choose one of your rear guards, put a Dragon Tree marker on it. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 unit card from among them, call it to rear guard, shuffle the deck. Act Vanguard once per turn and bind a card with the Dragon Tree in its card name or Mask of Hydreigon from your hand or drop. For each rear guard circle with your Dragon Tree markers on it, energy charge 1, and this unit gets 5,000 power until end of turn. If there are 5 or more Dragon Tree markers, this unit gets drive +1 until the end of turn. Sorry, if there are 5 or more rear guards with Dragon Tree markers, this unit gets +1 drive until end of turn. So those are its 2 main skills. The first one is basically free. Energy Blast 3, make a Dragon Tree marker. A Dragon Tree marker that you can stack, so that matters. You get to look at the top 5 cards and call the dude. And it doesn't specify what the dude is. It doesn't have to be a Dragon Tree, it doesn't have to be a Hydreigon. It can be any card off the top 5. And then the second skill, you bind a card with Dragon Tree or a card Master of Hydreigon from your hand or drop. The fact that the big one's from drop, because it's so easy to get your Hydreigons in the drop. I'm sorry, your Mask of Hydreigons or your Dragon Trees in the drop. It's not even a cost. You get to energy charge 1, and Sephirogila gains 5k for every rearguard circle with a Dragon Tree marker. Not every Dragon Tree marker, every rearguard circle with 1. And then if you have at least 5, if you have 1 on every circle, drive +1. So our goal is usually to try and get 5 Dragon Tree markers as soon as possible to get that triple drive. And the way the deck plays, it gets it really, really easily. Especially since you actually have an early game and you're encouraged to play cards in the early game. But those are our 2 main cards. They may sound a little underwhelming compared to what we were hoping for, but I promise you they work out really well. So let's talk about the deck and then we'll go jump into some gameplay. So we have our Blessings cards, A New Beginning, Auspicious Transmogrification, and Coming of Origin. All just blessings. They literally just they're order cards that say if you play them, you can kind of bless 1 and search your deck for a blessing. But we never use it for that, we use it just for the ride deck. Now, our trigger lineup, we are playing Drag Vader because we're playing the Dragon Empire version. Personally, I think Dragon Empire is probably gonna be the best version of Sephirogila, but I definitely want to try it with different nations. The problem is this is the only, well, I guess Brancate 2, but there aren't very many ways to get multi-attack with Sephirogila, but it can operate as a powerful 3-attack deck. I actually played against a version that was a 3-attack version for Keter, and they abused all of the plus engine that Keter can get and just gained so much advantage. The game actually came to deck out. Now, trigger lineup, we went with 8 crits. While Sephirogila doesn't gain a crit, that extra drive check really makes crits nasty. Heals and draws. Now, this deck superior calls from the deck a lot. It draws a lot, but we still need to be able to see some of our pieces. So that's why I went with draw triggers, though I could definitely see a strong argument for switching out to front triggers. I'm going to keep messing with it, see how consistent the deck is. If it's consistent enough for me and gains enough advantage, I would switch to front triggers, because having restanding rear guards, having the Dragon Tree markers pumping up the front row plus front triggers can definitely turn this into a serious threat. This one, again, this is one I'm kind of messing around with. I haven't decided if this is the amount I'm going to run, but Corrosive Smoke Signals, for anybody that doesn't know what it does, you choose one of your rear guards without a Dragon Tree marker, you get a Dragon Tree marker, and then you choose one of your units being attacked, gets 10k. But if you have a Vanguard with Griphogila, it gets 20k instead of 10k, which, remember, Sephirogila is treated as Griphogila, so we get that skill. It's a really, really strong defensive blitz order. I just don't know if I want to run more copies of it or not. Twin Buckler Dragon is our PG. Notice that we're running 4 of them and not 3 in an Elementaria, because Elementaria requires you to have a grade 3 Vanguard. Sorry guys, if you guys noticed at the beginning, I made a quick edit, because while you can't play original Elementaria Sanctitude, you can play this version. So this version says if you do not have any cards in your crest zone other than the energy generator, you can use it, you can discard it. So even though we're on a grade 10, we can still use it. And then if your opponent's crest zone has cards other than the energy generator, you can play this ability without playing the cost. Basically, if you play against a stride deck. So yeah. I didn't realize that we could play that, because the original Elementaria Sanctitude says if your opponent's Vanguard has triple drive, and you can only have 1, pay this with discard a card from hand if your Vanguard is grade 3 or less. So that's why we can't play that one, but we can play the other one, so we switched. Dragon Tree Wretch Draco Bactigal. This is one of our early game cards, as well as one of our ways to get Dragon Tree markers. The way the deck is set up, you only need to get like 2, maybe 3 Dragon Tree markers leading up to your turn 3. So this is a great early game card. You can call it out, counterblast 1, get a Dragon Tree marker, and then you don't really need it for anything else, so you don't mind losing it. But if it stays on the board, it has that second skill. Auto rearguard once per turn. When your opponent's rearguard is retired during the main phase, Soul Blast 1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 grade 1 or less card from among them, call it to rearguard, shuffle the deck. Solid card to get out cards onto the board, and it combos really well with cards like Wilderness Dragon. This is why we're playing it. But again, we'll talk about that in a second once we get to it. Griphogila gets you 2 markers on its own on your turn, on your third turn. So between this Quimrud or Entorki Quimrud, and Corrosive Smokestick, we have a bunch of ways to get the markers that we want by turn 3 so that we can get our triple drive. Shenri, super powerful early game card. We have an order that we play in the deck, so that can turn it on if our opponent has too many rearguards, and we do have some retire, so it's almost never a dead card. Wilderness Dragon, when this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have 3 or more Dragon Tree markers, your opponent's rearguard, on your rearguard, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards in the same column as this unit and retire it. Really easy to use. We get 3 markers like without even trying. It's like breathing. The Soul Blast cost doesn't always really clash. I know you saw 2 cards with Soul Blast costs. They only become a problem in the late game because we're trying to save our soul for Virina, but otherwise it's just an easy retire that's going to end up setting us up to get another Superior Call off the top of the deck. The only downside is this card is not a Hydreigon. I wish it was. Or a Dragon Tree, sorry. Dragon Tree Wretch, Ragoon Quimrud, when this unit is placed on rearguard, counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your rearguards without a Dragon Tree marker, put a Dragon Tree marker on it, search your deck for up to 1 Mask of Hydreigon, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. We have Soul now. Another one of Griphogila's weaknesses is that the fact that it removes the calamities from the soul to go into Griphogila turn 3. This one does not. You get to keep all the cards in your soul. Even if you Soul Blast in the early game, it does not affect your ability to get to Sephirogila. So this becomes a really strong early game card to set you up for your turn 3. Get you a Dragon Tree marker for when you go into Sephirogila. It gets you Mask of Hydreigon to be able to use the order and to be able to have the banish cost, the bind cost, sorry, to get your power up and potentially triple drive. I don't care who you are. If you're playing Sephirogila, you're playing Potential Twin Cast. This card is nuts. So this is a blitz order. Choose one of your units being attacked. It gets 10,000 power. That's fine. The second skill is the one that matters. This card's auto ability can be resolved even if you have resolved a Regalis piece ability this fight, because this is the Regalis piece. Normally you can only use 1 per fight. The second skill, auto drop. When your unit is attacked, remove this card from your drop. Choose one of your units being attacked. It gets 5,000 until the end of that battle for each grade of that unit. Remind me, guys, what grade is Sephirogila? That's right, he's a grade 10. This is a 50k shield from the drop. It's disgusting. Disgusting. I played against somebody. I perfect guarded an attack, guarded with an overtrigger, and then guarded with this, and he just couldn't hit me. Like, this deck can very much decide how much damage it wants to take in most situations because of how strong its defensibility is and the fact that you don't need a lot of cards. I'm only playing 2 copies of Quimrud. While this card is good, it has a couple issues. So its first skill is an Energy Blast 3. Start your deck with Mask of Hydreigon, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. Great skill. Second skill, act, counterblast 1, bind this unit, choose one of your rearguards without a Dragon Tree marker, put a Dragon Tree marker on it. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck for up to 1 Mask or Griphogila in this card name. From among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. When you would look at the deck by this ability, if your bind zone has 1 or less cards with the same name as this card, look at all the cards instead of the top 7. So the first time you would use this, you'd basically get to search a copy of Sephirogila. The downside is it binds itself, so we're losing a rearguard. Also, Sephirogila binds your Dragon Tree markers, your Dragon Tree units for its skill. So if you bind one of these and then try to use a skill, you only get to check top 7. I actually had a misplay where I did that, so I wasn't able to get an actual search, and I ended up missing off the top 7. It kind of sucked. Mask of Hydreigon, we use it for the top. We use it just for the search. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 Dragon Tree or Mask in its card name from among them. Reveal it. Put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. Obviously, Sephirogila is a Dragon Tree. We have all our Dragon Tree rearguards. We have plenty of targets to search off the top 5. And lastly, we have Virina Sephirogila. It's just a generic when this unit attacks. When your Vanguard attacks, sorry. Soul Blast 1. Stay in this unit. This unit gets 5,000 power until end of turn for each of its original address. Obviously, we're not playing any trick moons, so that part doesn't matter, but it's just a restander that's basically free that we're going to pump up with the Dragon Tree markers. And yeah, this deck can get 4 or 5 attacks really, really easily. Even if it doesn't, it gains a shitload of power and triple drive, so it's really, really solid. Now, enough of my rambling. Let's go jump into some gameplay. All right, guys, we got a game and we're going first. And off the top, I'm going to send all these triggers back. And because this isn't live, so we have 3 markers, I'm going to send that back too because it's dead until turn 3. And we'll draw some more. And we have an okay early game. I want to be able to find a couple other ways to get some Dragon Tree markers, but this isn't bad. So we got Sephiroth Seed. Now, this is we've been seeing a lot of Sephiroth Seed because, you know, this is the new hotness. Everybody's playing it. Ideally, this deck wants to go first because it has a really, really explosive turn 3, and being able to do it with your opponent at grade 1 is gross. All right, so we should be set for the game. Gain our 2k power, get our marker, sorry, our energy generator, and then we end turn. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this, but sometimes I want my opponent to crit me turn 1, because turn 1 I'll be able to use Rag Rune and Bactigal, get my Dragon Tree markers, and be able to attack a bunch of times. So the deck can be aggressive in the early game, but if it doesn't happen, it's okay. We don't need the extra attacks. All right, he's going straight to battle phase. That's fine. No guard. Oh, ooh! It's the Dark States version. Stand, main phase, skill to the soul. Now we got 4,000 power. And now we're at grade 2. So we're going to call Ragoon. Skill, Counter Blast 1. Remember, we can Soul Blast. That doesn't affect the grade or our power or our ability to ride in Sephirogila. We'll grab Mask of Hydrogram. Shuffle up. Put that in our hand. And we're actually going to call Shenri. Boop. Battle phase. 10k power. Yep, I figured he's going to guard. Ooh, because he's not guard on this one. 33k. Now, while normally I would use Shenri, I think I'm going to save it. Because I have no reason to use Shenri right now. I doubt he's going to play a bunch of rear guards next turn. And even if he does, we have Mask of Hydrogram, so I'll get the draw next turn. I'm trying to think if I need the soul for anything. Because we'll have 2 cards in soul next turn. Yeah, we'll save it. This way we can call Bactigal to boost whatever we call on the opposite side, and we'll already have Shenri ready to go. We'll be able to still draw next turn and keep pressure. Ooh, I wouldn't have done that. I would have swung at the rear guard. Because he's basically guaranteeing that I'm going to, well, almost guaranteeing that I'm going to get my 5 markers. All right, stand in the main phase, skill. Now we put the 3rd one in, and now we're grade 3. So now we can ride Sephirogila from the deck. I didn't mean to grab that. So now we get 1. We'll put it over here. We're going to play the Mask of Hydrogram, check top 5. We'll grab Ragoon, so we don't need it. Now, how do I want to do this? All right, so we're going to start off with Bactigal. Scale of Bactigal. We'll get the 1. Whoops. Can we get 5 with this turn? Oh, well, I'm adding 1 because apparently I didn't. No, that's my. Yeah, I'm missing 1. I'm supposed to be at 3 right now. We'll go here. So that was my mistake last turn. I didn't put 1 down for Ragoon. So I'm trying to think if there's an. Oh, if I had 1 more counter blast, I would, but it's fine. So we're gonna go skill. Well, that goes on the drop. Energy Blast 3. Get a marker that we can stack. So because we can't get to 5, I'm going to stack it here. Yeah. And now we get to check top 5. And we'll call Sephirogila. That was actually fire. And now we'll use our second skill. We're going to bind the Mask of Hydrogram. I was about to say remove, which is going to charge us 3. And he's going to gain 15,000 power. So unfortunately, we do not get our triple drive just yet. I was one counter blast short of it, but we did gain a bunch of power, and we're in a pretty good spot with 2 damage and a lot of defense. So we're gonna go battle phase. We're gonna go swing with Sephirogila. They're most likely not gonna guard at 36. Yep. Now we're gonna swing skill Soul Blast 1. Restand. If we had one more Dragon Tree marker, we would have been able to Energy Blast 7 to also draw. So first check, critical trigger, power to Sephirogila. So now it's a big number. Crit to Van, and perfect guard. Now see, he's going to be able to get 5 because he has so many counter blasts now. Now we're going to go Ragoon Quimrod. As you can see, the deck can get pretty aggressive. It's just a 10k shield, but he got it in a damage trigger. So skill to the soul, we'll draw, and then Sephirogila for 33. Yep, that's fine. All right, we're chilling. Yeah, that call off the top is really spicy for Sephirogila. It actually helps thin out the deck a lot. We have so many ways to get to what we need. Now, next turn, I'll have my 5 really, really easily. I can make a Dragon Tree marker with any of the cards in my hand, and then I can Energy Blast 3 to make another Dragon Tree marker. So I'll have my 5, I'll have my triple drive. If I had gone to 3 damage, if I had taken 1 more damage, I would have had 5 on that turn. I didn't see any of my Corrosive Smokes. This is why I was talking about maybe running more of them, because if I had seen 1 Corrosive Smoke, I could have been defensive and gotten a Dragon Tree marker. Actually, no, because I needed the 2 counter blasts. So I basically had to not guard anything to get the 4 markers I have. Like, I had the pieces, just not the resource, unfortunately. So he played Mask of Hydrogram. He got his Dragon Tree marker for On Ride. He is doing a Griphogila skill. Energy Blast 3. He gave himself a marker, and now he's checking top 5 for a rear guard. What the hell is this thing? This unit is placed on rear guard by your Vanguard's ability. Counter Blast 1, draw a card, and this unit gets 5,000 power. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if you have a grade 4 or greater Vanguard, counter charge 1. I don't know if I like this. Because you call off the top 5, it's really a low chance of getting it for a counter blast 1 and plus 5k. It just doesn't seem worth it. Because now the other one doesn't have a skill, it's a vanilla. I mean, they're counter chargers, yeah, but the deck doesn't really counter blast that much in general. Like, besides your Hydrogram, there's nothing else really counter blasts. He played in order, so Ophelia does have her 5k. And her potential draw skill. Truth be told, in his situation, I would probably just attack the rear guard. Because then I have no way to gain another Dragon Tree marker. All the cards that give us Dragon Tree markers require a counter blast. Alright, so now he's using the skill, so no triple drive this turn. So he's going to gain 15k power and 3 energy. And then he's probably going to Energy Blast 7 to draw, I would assume. Yep. Alright, he's swinging at me. We're going to take the Vanguard swing. Alright, he got a crit. 1 and 2. Alright, we're golden now. Now we don't need any more damage for basically the rest of the game. Our counter blasts are pretty much irrelevant now. Alright. Okay, We're gonna intercept here. And then 38. That's actually a pretty big number. You know what? I don't feel like taking the damage. It sucks not being able to, force activate the over trigger, but having it in deck is really nice because obviously you can have it for the defensive power and the potential to hit it. In this deck, that'd be crazy. Since Sephirogila is not once per turn. All right, so we have a Persona Ride. We're gonna go to main phase. I think I'm good on Soul, so I'm going to use Ragoon. That's gonna get us another Dragon Tree marker. And we're gonna get another Mask of Hydrogram. So we'll go here, and then we'll search. I didn't mean to check top one, I meant to check deck. For our second copy of Mask of Hydrogram, shuffle up, add to hand. We're gonna play it. Check top 5, sorry. We'll add a Griphogila to hand, just to have some boosters. Shuffle up. We're going to activate Griphogila's skill. Energy Blast 3, get a Dragon Tree marker. Check top 5. Call another copy of Sephirogila. Oh, that's gross. That's gross. We're going to swap these. And then we're going to call over with Griphogila. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to overcap on energy here. I'm 1 energy short of blasting 7 to draw. So maybe I'll add something that'll let me mess with my energy a little more. But we're going to use this. We're going to get rid of Ragoon. We're going to energy charge 5, which we can only charge 4, unfortunately. We're going to gain 25,000 power. And now we have our extra drive. And then we're going to energy blast 7 and draw a card. And because we have the card, why not? So now we have big man board. So battle phase. We're going to go 41 to Vanguard. He has to guard every attack, and we have 5 attacks on board. I don't see him living through this. It's not at 5 damage. But as you saw, turn 3, our turn 3 was so explosive while he was at turn 2 that we damn near put him to sleep last turn. And just look at our numbers. We have 41 on one side. We have 46 on the other side. The Vanguard's going to swing for 61 with triple drive. The other two are going to restand at 33 and 28 respectively. Pretty sure this is the game. Yep. Oh, 6 damage heal. Holy shit. Still, guys, 4 more attacks to guard. 38, 43. All right. Now we're going to swing. Skills. Soul Blast 2. Boom, boom. 3 drive. Of course, he has a PG. He hasn't used any yet this whole game. So triple drive. 1, 2, 3. Another heal trigger. We'll give that over here. Maybe it would have been better over here. No, because now both of these are, no matter what, 2 card guards. No, they're not. Because that's a 23. So this is a 1 card guard. 33, 43. You know what? I'm putting it over here. Okay. 28. Because now he needs a front trigger and another card to guard that. Or 2 triggers. But he still needs to guard this with at least a 5k. So it's, no matter what, this is another card out of hand. All right. So he's got a handful of triggers if he's guarding with that. Another perfect guard. I'm surprised he took the 6 damage. I don't know if the rest of his hand is grade 3s or more triggers, but well, no, because then he would have guarded. Maybe the 41 was just a little too big. I don't know. But we've got so much defense. We're chilling. This is what I was talking about the day. Once you get the deck set up, you can kind of decide how much damage you want because you have no reason to take extra damage. We have 2 PGs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triggers in our hand that we haven't guarded with. Even against a retire deck, being able to call off the top 5 and then reestablish your board, like I couldn't make a whole new board even if my board got wiped out here. Not to mention what I would call off the top. The only thing, some multi-attack decks can get a little hard to deal with as we don't have any much defensive power. We do have our orders, but we didn't draw any. And we do have all these cards that we haven't guarded with. But Sephirogila, besides exploding turn 3 to get your triple drive and all that, it does take a little bit of time to do everything else because it doesn't have any built-in support to like increase its own power or to really do much else. Ooh, clean sweep is good right here because he's gonna get rid of my 2 Sephirogillas. But he's also gonna give me soul, so I guess win some, lose some. The other downside to Dark States is that it's only a 3 attack deck. So like I don't have to really be scared of anything. So this gives him his last Dragon Tree marker. And then he's probably gonna stack one with thing. People get grade 3 or greater, choose 1 less card from your soul, call it to rear guard. That's nice. That is really nice, actually. All right, he's using clean sweep. He's putting in our Asperidias. To soul, to soul, to soul. Not a big deal. Now the Vanguard's going to gain his 25 and triple drive. Remember, this game should have been over last turn, but he got a 6 damage heal. It is what it is. All right, for this we have PG. We'll get rid of Toriki. One, two, blanks. All blanks. You love it to see it. We'll guard 2 triggers for 43. Come on. Did you play it? All right, and then this one, you know what? We'll take it. Heal trigger. All right, let's put him to sleep. Draw. Persona Ride. I know we have another copy of Esperadia floating in the deck, so let's see if we get it. He gave us a bunch of soul to work with, so I'm going to do some cool guy stuff. So main phase. First off, skill. Energy Blast 3. We're going to get a Dragon Tree marker. And we're going to actually... I'm going to stack it here for our restander. And then we're going to check top 5. The universe wanted him to lose. I was going to do a bunch of retire shenanigans, but nah, the game said you're done. You're done. All right. And now, skill. We're going to remove... We're going to bind Mask of Hydrum. We're going to gain 5 energy. And he's going to gain 25,000 power. And then we're going to Energy Blast 7. To draw. That's a good card. We didn't play an order this turn, though, so he would have to intercept for us to have that live. Then we have the other Esperidia, too. Now I go battle phase. Swing in. Now, obviously, I would have liked to split up the Dragon Tree markers with the Esperidia, but I didn't know we were going to get it. So I wanted to pump up my restander. But we have 5 attacks now. All right, guys. Here's another look at the deck I threw together. You guys can see once you get that 5, you don't really have to do anything else. So you can play other counterblast cards. It just sucks because like your counterblasts are dedicated in the early game to getting your Dragon Tree markers. It was like that with Vartex too. but your late game, you basically have nothing to use it for. So it's just like, you could still use Ragoon Quimrud to search out Mask of Hydrogrim. You can still use Toriki Quimrud to search out Sephirogila, even though you can't get the Dragon Tree marker. But you basically have free resource. And even the soul, like, I know he gave us 2 soul, but think about it, we never had less than 2 or 3 soul. Shenri is great for the soul generation, and that Draco and Wilderness Dragon clearing our points board, helping us rebuild the board. I know we hit Verena Asperidia almost every time, like that was crazy. But we filter out the deck so much that getting to Verena Asperidia is a lot easier. Between our triple drives, our draw triggers, our check top 5s to call a dude, like we're pulling out all the Dragon Trees early, so that way in the late game we're going for our combo pieces. But let me know what you guys think of Sephirogila. Like I said, I'm surprised the deck works as well as it does. Now this is just the Dragon Empire version, and again, somebody else might run it differently. If you guys want, I'll try and do the other nations. The only one that I don't see working right now is Lyrical, because Lyrical doesn't have any Dragon Tree support yet. Hopefully they'll be getting some. And also, Keter is the only other deck with a Quimrud clone, a Toriki Quimrud clone. The other ones don't have it, so I'd have to mess with that very differently. But that also leaves more room for some more generic support. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you guys want to check me out on social media, those links down below. If you guys want to see me play some Cardfight Vanguard live, we play usually every Tuesday. Next week's going to be a little bit weird because of the way my schedule works. We're probably going to have a little bit of a shorter stream, but we'll probably be doing it around 3. Yeah, we'll probably be doing it around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Tuesday. But we're going to be playing at a minimum Bafsagra, and probably a lot of Bafsagra. I'm really excited for her, and you guys will probably get a video on her this week too, considering she gets announced on Thursday, tomorrow. And then we also have the new Lyrical boss getting announced on Tuesday, so I'm excited for that too. But that's it for me, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Later.